Okay, we're talking about mental problems. Now, when we say mental illness, we separate the mental problems. A mental illness is not a person who has physical brain damage or born with a birth defect. All right? That's an injury. Illness is something that you catch, something that is given to you, something that comes from outside. Now, we're going to put these in two different categories so that we can, for reference sake. One is sensory, is a sensory mental problem. All right? It is physical. One is an informational mental problem. All right? It has to do with erroneous or wrong or bad information being fed to a person, causing them to have problems. One is sensory, physical, mental problem. Let's call it PMP. All right. And we should call the other one IMP, informational mental problem, which means someone gave them bad information that makes them crazy. All right. Someone gave them information that does not match up with what is out here in this world, what is made of matter, what matters, what you call real. Someone gave them information that is not real. You can't walk across imaginary bridges, and so they're trying to cross a bridge that isn't there. They're trying to walk through doors that aren't there. That's the problem with imaginary information. So you got informational mental problems, IMP, and you got PMP, physical mental problems. Okay, to distinguish the two. Most of you, you got IMP. You got bad information, and it's making you crazy. It has made you crazy. The information itself is your crazy state, the information in your brain. I'm making people cross the street. Now I have to um, pause, which means the programmers and the AIs and the autonomous machinery and equipment and beings or whatever you call also have IMP. It was passed on. That's how IMP is spread verbally. It's spread through the senses, visually, verbally, audibly. It's how it's the only way that IMP can be spread. PMP, PMP. There has to be some damage. There has to be something incorrect physically, wrong, something broken. But IMP is informational. It's bad information. What is bad information? Information that is fictitious, a fallacy, fictional, is bad information. Contradictory information is bad information. When you have two thoughts in your mind that contradict each other, your mind has to solve the puzzle as to which one is true. Now, you multiply this time millions of these little contradictions that you've been so-called taught or fed, and you will find a problem with all of your subconscious mental problems. Okay? Now, that's where none of the people talking can help you. They're all out here in the physical world Note the background noise. Rewind this tape, and if any thought reoccurs, like instantly with that sound, then you already know what I've been saying about these tapes. I'll deal with the culprits afterwards. People only do things they think they can get away with. If they thought they couldn't get away with it, they wouldn't do it. And they're not getting away with this. They're just stupid. No one gets away with nothing from this moment forth. It is December 31st, 2017, they say, which is some more lies. But anyway, just for the record's sake, it's New Year's Eve. My year. Now, I'm at Frederick Douglass Park in Merced, California. It's funny. I've seen yards bigger than this park. They have lots across town as big as this park. So I guess it's what they call a mini park. It used to be a big park when I was a kid. And I want to know how do you turn half the park into private property? See private houses sitting on it now. But that's another story. This is just for record's sake. Now, PMP, IMP. IMP is what we're dealing with. IMP is what threatens the world. IMP is the ability to be a scientific genius and still be a raving lunatic, which is a dangerous combination. These are the people in the governments of the world with the highest clearance working on the most deadliest things, and they have the same mental problems as that homeless guy you see walking around talking to himself as you think. They have the same exact problems. This isn't something that the more information you stuff in your head is going to go away. Once information has been placed in your brain, there is literally no way to get it out. It's in there forever. That's why I never understood study concept. Studying is overkill. It makes it hard to recall. Actually, when you look at something once, it's burned in your brain forever. You look at it 1,000 times. Now you got a blurred, overlapping image of something that you can't make out. It's like stamping the same letter on a piece of paper over and over on the whole page. You won't even be able to make the letter out anymore. It's just a bunch of connected lines. Um, anyway, so you can educate yourself with all the smart little tidbits of useless facts you want, and you can recite all the psychobabble you want. It's not going to get you out of the mental box. The mental box is because bad information was placed in you from birth, and it's being placed in you uh, to this day. It'll be placed in. It'll be shot at you after you. As soon as you finish listening to this note, you'll be hit with barrages of bad information from all directions. We will be listing this bad information in the 2020 report. It's it's going. The 2020 report is going to change the world. It's going to show you who's going to become the cassette tapes and VHS tapes and VCRs and 8-track tapes of tomorrow, so that you don't make bad investments or so that you know when to get out. Show you what I mean. If Hollywood Video had this report, they wouldn't have thought that they were going to be in business forever and that they were going to be kingpins forever. 1 minute, Hollywood Video, blockbuster videos in every town. The next minute, there are nowhere because there's no such thing as a videotape. Okay? They didn't have good information. There are businesses biting the dust left and right. There won't be a CD pretty soon. The only place that CDs still exist is in movies and games. and the movies aren't hardly sold on CD anymore, on DVD anymore. Okay, they're going the way of the VHS tape. So all the people who were in the CD business who thought they were kingpins, rubbing elbows in Beverly Hills, they'll be regular people next year. Hope they save their money. And there's been a lot of that. Okay, there has been a lot of that. Okay, don't put your money in Bluetooth. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of changes. The internet kings of today will not be here tomorrow. That's one of the big issues in the report. The Googles and Facebooks and all of that, the giants, Amazon, will not be giants tomorrow. They'll be nobodies, starting from scratch with everyone else, with nothing but experience over the next guy. That's why the 2020 report is important. Shows which countries are going to be in what position, which products are going to be in what position, what demands are going to come, and what demands are going to drop. What's going to happen money wise on the planet, what's going to happen socially, racially, and everything else. Economically, environmentally, everything. The 2020 report is a do or die situation. Without it, you probably won't survive. That's why it's being released to the public for free. There's a version being released for free to the public, everyone on the whole entire planet. But the advanced version, the elaborate version, that shows deep behind the scenes, deep underneath everything, this version is going to cost the majors a pretty penny because their future is riding on it. The future of their country is riding on it. The future of their giant corporations riding on it. The future of life on this planet is riding on it. So I'm not going to just give it to them for free. I'm going to use it to buy my freedom and save myself. They can do what they want with the information. I've already did my part. I spent my whole life doing the things that I'm going to do in the next 2 years. Now imagine that. Someone spends over a half a century for a 2 year job. The job's really going to pan out to, 6 to 10. But like I said, I spent a half a century preparing and training for it. You will see what the job is. So then you won't be sitting up there talking about, hey, how the hell did he? It's going to be very, very clear how I do everything. But we don't want to make this too long. The point is IMP, PMP, two different things. People running around in the mental health business uh, should know the difference, but they don't. They running around calling everything a mental illness because they have no idea what an illness and an injury is and the difference between them. And these are the people that your life is in their hands. People who can't tell you what parts of your throat is for, they can't tell you what your appendix is for or your tonsils, but they're going to take them out. Wow. They pull out your wisdom tooth. They have no idea the repercussions behind that. And they've been doing it so long. It has to be a scheme. When you find out what your wisdom tooth is tied to, you're going to see another conspiracy. Well, IMP, noted, coined. That's what this is for. Coining the phrase before the whole industry jumps on it and everybody jumps on the bandwagon and claim, oh, I've been thinking about this for years. Classic vampire trick. Feel me? Find anything related, even a word, a sound, and claim prior knowledge of something that if they had prior knowledge, it would have showed in their actions. And to have prior knowledge of these things, for someone to claim they already knew anything that I've said and they've never said anything or done anything about it, is automatic disqualification for any kind of office of power or position. To sit on this kind of information is criminal. So either you're lying or you're an evil ass selfish son of a bitch. So either way, you can't win. So the lead question in the debate is basically when they're caught in the trap, ask them a simple question. You're supposed to be a psychiatrist, a mental health expert, an educator, a PhD. So tell me, how many types of mental illness are there? How many kinds of mental illness are there? The answer is two. They haven't all been charted yet. There's so many. You're one of them. You're one of those that you're talking about. There are two types of mental illness only. All the mental illness fall in one box or the other. And you know nothing. Step down. You're incompetent. We're all gonna die on your watch. Are you so arrogant, so greedy, so selfish that to have a title or position you would risk all of our fucking lives? Knowing that you can't do the job, knowing that you can't even run your own life or your own family, but you want to run cities and states and governments and corporations. No. Get treatment. Come back. If that's what you really want. But now, no. Always gotta leave room for the credits, which is all me.